It is often said, wonders shall never end when one is exposed to something that is not only new and remarkable, but also hard to believe. Currently, there are 7 wonders of the world, but Clearview News Desk may have discovered the 8th wonder in western Kenya, where the Luo people of the Legion Maria Church remove 6 lower teeth from their members to help God identify them easily in heaven so as to avoid going to hell when they finally cross over to the other side. Over the years, the media has reported several stories of individuals subjecting themselves to the most bizarre situation in a bid to have an encounter with God. This behavior has, however, sparked this all-important question: how far can one go to see God? We have a commentary.
Legion Maria Church is an African-initiated church among the Luo people of Western Kenya who believe they are the only ones who will go to heaven. They remove 6 lower teeth from their members to help God identify them easily in heaven when they finally cross over to the other side so as to avoid going to hell. Baba Simeo Lodvikas Melchior is the eternal spiritual leader and mediator of Legion Maria, who they worship as a black messiah, claiming that he was Jesus Christ reincarnated in African skin. Members of the Legion Maria movement are similar to Catholics and believe in the central role of Mary as Queen and Mother. This story is the latest addition to the list of bizarre reports that have trailed social and the mainstream media over the years of individuals who have subjected themselves as well as their families to extreme conditions in a bid to have a divine encounter with God. Just recently, in April 2024, Kenyan evangelical pastor Paul Mackenzie was arrested for convincing hundreds of his followers to starve themselves to death in hopes of meeting Jesus and escaping the apocalypse. Reports from various media outlets showed that between 50 to 300 bodies were exhumed from a land belonging to the said pastor of the Good News International Church in coastal Kenya. Similarly, in 2014, Reverend Unjohi, a reverend at Lord's Propeller Redemption Church in Kenya, ordered the female members of his congregation to attend church without any form of underwear so that Christ can enter their lives. The said reverend reportedly banned the wearing of undergarments in his church because they are ungodly and people need to be free in body and spirit to receive Christ. Also in 2014, a South African preacher made his congregation eat grass to be closer to God before stamping on them. Under the instruction of Pastor Lesego Daniel of Rabboni Center Ministries, dozens of followers dropped to the floor to eat the grass at his ministry in Garankuwa, north of Pretoria, after being told it will bring them closer to God. In a related development in 2020, a pastor in another South African-based church, Hope Restoration Ministries, ordered his church members to kiss each other randomly during a church service. In photos shared online, the church members were captured obeying the pastor as each one grabbed someone to kiss. Still in the southern region of the continent, a Zimbabwean pastor, Philip Chipato, in 2019, allegedly ordered members of his congregation to divorce their spouses who had stopped attending church services. Holy Pastor Busoga, a Ugandan-born preacher, announced to his church members that God instructed him to be walking on their backs just like Jesus Christ walked on water. Pastor Busoga, according to local media in the East African country, reportedly claimed that God told him he was too holy to walk on the ordinary ground like mere mortals and as such should walk on their backs while preaching the gospel. And back home in Nigeria, Ade Abraham, the pastor of Christ High Commission Ministry, also known as Royal Christ Assembly, Kaduna State, in 2022, convinced members of his church to relocate to a camp in Ekiti State with him in order to prepare for the end of the world. According to reports, he taxed each member of his church to pay him 310,000 naira before they would be allowed to follow him to Omuo Ekiti, where the gate of heaven will open and all of them will fly to heaven. The list is endless. From urging members to eat live snakes, drink petrol, and openly flogging and brutalizing members, Africa has witnessed her fair share of ridiculous and inhumane situations in their desperation to see God. Though often hailed as the most religious of all continents, Africa remains the least developed as it still grapples with a myriad of socio-economic challenges. This therefore leaves Clearview News Desk with the responsibility to enlighten our viewers on the dangers of fanaticism while encouraging them to embrace a genuine desire to know God for themselves through diligent pursuits in accordance to His holy book. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.